Hello and welcome back to an episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing great. For today's episode, I want to bring you an update on Annie Macaulay, formerly Annie Idibia. Annie Macaulay is back on social media. She made a post thanking her family, friends, fans all over the world for sticking by her. Now, let me just go back for some of you who don't know what is going on. If you've been living under the rock, let me just give you an update. Now, Annie Idibia, as we all know, she was married to Two-Face Idibia. They've been married for over a decade. Before then, their relationship has been a roller coaster. They've been children, they've been baby mamas, they've been, literally every Nigerian girl or every African girl have been in that relationship one way or the other. Before now, people were just hearing, rumors, social media drama here and there, but not really anything concrete from the Idibia's side. Yes, blogs were carrying news, but you just think that, oh, this is blog hooking up something. But when it became apparent and when people have like a glimpse into their relationship was when the young, famous and African aired. Annie Idibia, all she talked about was how Two-Face treated her. You could see a broken woman. You could see somebody who has endured a lot. Yes, she was posting pictures, smiling and all that, but you could see somebody in pain. You could see somebody who truly loved somebody, and the way she was being treated, she felt defeated almost. You could see somebody who was broken, and that was very clear. Even the cast members were even talking to Two-Face to say that this is what you've done to this woman. Regardless of whatever you think you've done, this woman is like this because of you. If you see Annie in this season of Young, African and Famous, she looked really skinny. She wasn't really that kind of, she's not fat, but the way she looked, a whole lot of people pointed to the fact that she was going through something, and her mannerism, the way she talked to people, her approach to things, you could tell that this was somebody that was hurting. And then the way she was shaking her head, people said that she was on something, she was on drugs. And yes, then it was speculations. After that season aired, Annie went viral on all social media platforms. People were kind of mimicking how she was, shaking her head, talking and all that. And in the midst of this whole thing, Two-Face came out and announced the end of his marriage. We are still trying to wrap our heads around this whole thing. Two-Face started parading Natasha. He proposed to Natasha. Before you could say Jack, Mama Two-Face came out and said that she has not seen her son. That Two-Face, Natasha put a bead, gave her son a bead, neck bead and hand beads, and since then nobody has been able to reach Two-Face. When all these things was going on, Annie checked into rehab. Annie, with help of some friends, checked her into rehab so that she would be able to, because she was obviously abusing substances, which was very clear during that show. So she checked herself into rehab, and Annie was in rehab when Two-Face was busy making all these announcements, gallivanting with Natasha. There was no empathy. I think that was what people picked up on, because regardless of what may have happened, when Two-Face was going through all this whole baby mama drama, they said that Annie was there. Annie stuck by her man. Annie stood by him. Annie was, solidly behind Two-Face. But now that she just have a little bit of controversy, a little bit of bad publicity, Two-Face came out and announced the end of the marriage. But one thing I could say is that before this whole thing, I think maybe 2021, 2022, I think that was when that marriage ended, because there was an audio that was leaked online where Annie was shouting at the top of her voice because Two-Face went to America to see Peru, the mother of his children. 3 children who lived in America. So she didn't like Peru because Peru is single. At that time, Peru was single. She was still probably waiting for Two-Face to marry her as a second wife. I don't even know the situation. But for somebody to have had 3 children for him Two-Face, I think maybe he was kind of giving her the impression that she's a wife. You understand? So for her to have waited that long for Two-Face, and for Annie to be so pained that he was going to America to see Peru, because, ladies and gentlemen, when she was getting married, Peru was pregnant with their third child. So this is a polygamous relationship, whether we want to admit it or not, or whether Annie wants to actually admit it or not. So that audio leak, there were so many things coming out, and people saying that this relationship had ended a whole long time ago. So when Two-Face now announced the end of his marriage, obviously the whole lot of people bashed him, saying that why would he do that to Annie and all that. But he said that he had filed for divorce. Even the mother confirmed that he had filed for divorce. But Annie is saying that the family is the problem. Annie said that the Idibia's family never liked her, that she did everything, they never liked her. And I am beginning to see that pattern, because now the mother is coming out to blame Natasha. See, the mother is coming out to blame Natasha. That Natasha jazzed her son, Natasha gave her son beads, Natasha should remove the beads, Natasha this, Natasha that. You're not even, I don't even think they are looking at their son as the common denominator in all these things. The first one happened, the second one happened, the third one happened, Natasha is the fourth one, and allegedly they said Natasha is pregnant. But it's been, I think, a couple of months now, or some weeks now, and we're yet to see any baby boom. They're still parading themselves, going to clubs, going to parties. They recently visited Sheyi Vodi, a known designer in Nigeria. They visited him, they did shopping. Two-Face has taken Natasha to wig shops. You know, I think they are happy, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, if something is not working, I am not the one that will say, oh, you have to make it work, like our fathers or our mothers' generation that will stick, they will do everything they want to do outside, but their family is there, and the only person that actually suffers in that situation is the woman. So I hope that Annie is able to pick up the pieces, because her post, she signed it Annie Owana Macaulay, making it very clear that she's no longer an Idibia. Yes, she still have the show, The Young, Famous and African, but I don't know if she has any other thing going on for her. I just hope that she's able to bounce back. If I was Annie, I'll start a podcast. I will start granting interviews up and down. Build your brand. Yes, maybe not building it on hate on the DBS family, but I will come out and tell my story, and I think maybe she will use The Young, Famous and African, the show, to do that. But if I was in her shoes, hey, it's to start a YouTube channel and start interviewing and start interviewing people who are in similar situations, or who people listen. Make your brand. Like, I will build a brand. Now you have people want to hear what happened. People want to hear your own side of the story. And before you start going on different people's platform to do that, build your own platform and tell your stories. Then later you can now start rebranding. But right now, all we want from Annie is her story. And I think maybe that is the only way, or that is the best way that she could ride on this publicity that she's, getting right now. Some people said it's not Annie that is handling her social media page because she deleted everything. They said that she still doesn't have access to her phones. But we don't know. Wishing Annie all the best. What do you think? Do you think that Annie should come out with a podcast and then tell us all the whole sweet all the whole juicy details that went on between Peru, Sumbo, because everything that is going on right now is just speculation. We want to hear from the horse's mouth, and I think that is what everybody's expectation is. So what do you think? Do you think that Annie should just move on with her life, not talk about the DBS family because she has kids with them, or do you think that she should come out and spill the tea? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.